Now, think about this. If you're an American in your 20s, this is what you can look forward to. 57% of kids who will get married today in their 20s will go through a divorce. This doesn't account for all the people who live together for more than 2 years, because there's a 50% breakup rate of those. All those intimate relationships have a breakup rate of nearly 75%. Now, I was working with DYG, and we recently did a poll of high school seniors. And we asked them what the most important thing they had to look forward to 10 years later when they were 27 or 28. And you know what the answer was? The answer was the thing they wanted the most was a happy, stable family life, that they wanted to be a mom or a dad. It wasn't that they had the most fun or the most money or the most fame. It was that. And that's because that's what they're missing. But as we look around, there's very few models for what a committed relationship needs to look like. The average length of a Hollywood relationship is about 2 years. And we know through brain research that the reason is that when you connect with somebody, when you hook up with somebody, when you're in a relationship with somebody, your brain goes crazy and you produce all this dopamine and these wonderful brain chemicals that make you think everything is wonderful, and that lasts about 18 months to 2 years. And when that ends, people quit. And that's because the way people look at marriages today is, I'm going to stay with you as long as you turn me on. Or the utility version is, I'm going to stay with you as long as it's useful to me, as long as I'm getting my needs met. It was totally different with my parents. I saw my parents go through good times and bad times, and times where it was really rich and fun and talking, and times where it was a little stiff and quiet. And that's just what people did because they were working for something bigger. They were working for that intimacy. The intimacy that we long for is to be known by somebody else and valued, and to know somebody else and communicate that value to them no matter what. Now, I know one thing. Recently, an author wrote a book called Everybody's Normal Until You Get to Know Them. And that's about as true as you can say. We're all quirky as hell. We all have opinions, ideas, and habits that just annoy the living tar out of each other. And if that is only the basis of our commitment, then we're just in really deep trouble. One of the things that really struck me as I was looking at research from it's called the National Marriage Project, is this. Now think about this. They tracked people who were at a crisis in their marriage and got divorced, and the same people who were in a crisis in their marriage and went forward and stayed married. They looked at their relative happiness and contentment 5 years later. The people that stayed in the marriage were happier than people who got divorced and even got remarried. So what does that tell you? It isn't about the ups and downs of daily life. It's about this feeling of commitment one to another. Now, we have a responsibility to be a healthy person so that we can attract other healthy people to connect with us, and so we can grow together and go through all the phases of life. But I got to tell you, with my own unmarried children, I've got 3, when they look at their future and what they really want in terms of deep life satisfaction, there are no models around anymore, and that's a disgrace.